Hi folks, welcome to another episode in this Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video series. In this episode, we're going to build ourselves an oil refinery. Yes, we're going to go after that black gold, Texas tea, or otherwise known as bubbling crude. So why do we want an oil refinery? Well, we want an oil refinery because we need bitumen for asphalt, and we need fuel for our vehicles. So, in order to progress along, we need ourselves an oil refinery. Alright, it's time to get down to brass tacks and start mining the good stuff. Let's get started. Smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Or just give it a thumbs up for yourself so that you'll always be able to come back and watch it again if you need to. Well, the first step, of course, in building an oil refinery is to find where the oil is. So let's just look at our mini map and find where the oil is. So there's oil there. That shows our oil resources. Now we have quite a significant little blob right about here, and I wish that would stay there when I put the arrow there. If I go back here, we also have quite a significant little blob right over here, very close to where our city currently is. Let's move over to there and find out where there is. Again, there's the oil, and it looks right about there if I fine-tune it. So it should be right around here. Let's close up the map. So over we go to construction, and then over to oil, bitumen, and fuel. And I want to build a pump jack, or two. I don't really know how many at this point. But I'm searching around looking for that oil. I'm trying to get that number as high as I possibly can. Like I want something in the 90s if I can get it. Come on. There we go. There's a 99%. Just turn that guy facing this way. And I think that's a pretty good one. Can I move him over? It gets a little worse. There's 99 right there. So we'll build ourselves a pump jack. And maybe I can get another one in there. Possibly. There's 90. Maybe it's not so good. There's 87% in terms of quality of source, which I think is pretty good. And I don't think I'm encroaching on the other pump jacks. So let's build that one. Alright, we'll close that up, and then we're going to go to infrastructure and over to pipelines. And I want a pipe pumping station. I want to get to these two pump jacks, and I got to make sure that the orientation is correct because there's 3 in and there's 1 out. I want to make sure that the 1 out is facing the right direction. I think that's it right there. So let's build that, and then we'll close that up. Next thing, let's go back to construction. Back over to oil, bitumen, and fuel, and we want to build the oil refinery. 301,000 rubles, give or take. That's a lot of rubles. And we'll zero in just a little bit here, and the important part here is that the orientation is correct. There are intake areas on this thing, and there are outtake areas, and you can get them mixed up, and I just want to make sure that doesn't happen. So I think I have it orientated properly right there. Let's plop it down and build it. And then we'll close up that little sucker. And hopefully I've got that right. The next thing we're going to do is build some tanks to put the output into. And if I go down here, I'm looking for an oil or fuel storage. So there's one, and I got to make sure that it will have road access at the end of the day, because every building needs road access. And again, there might be inlets and outlets with these two. Anyway, I think that's good right there. And then I'm going to build a tank for each of the outlets, because some of them are bitumen and some of them are fuel, and I believe it alternates. There's one there. And I could put that guy maybe like that. But I can blow up the one connection to the other tank, because I don't want bitumen and fuel mixing together. You can't mix two different things. Let's just plop that guy down there. And I thought there was one left. Did I miss it? Oh no, you know what? There's one right there. Ah, darn. Okay, let's fix that. So let's go back to construction. I'm going to blow that up. And get rid of that. And get rid of that little thing. Sometimes things don't go perfectly, but they always go. Yeah, I want to connect to that connection there. So there's one there. And then I'll go like that, I think will work. Because they all got to have a, oh, my power plant stopped working, probably because I don't have enough workers. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So there's another one there. All right, and that should do it for oil storage tanks. Now we're going to want to transport this stuff a fair distance, so let's go over to our railways and let's see if we can find the proper structure to house this stuff. There's an oil fuel loading and unloading. It has oil and bitumen and fuel. So let's click on that. And basically each one of these tanks I'm going to give, that not connect. There we go. It is connecting. Each one's going to have a little oil and fuel loading station for it. Here's one there. And let's see if I can get one in here. Is this going to cooperate? It's not. Oh, there we go. Perhaps something like that. And now these ones are going to be a little bit pernickety. I'm going to put one just like that. And for the last one over here, I'm really hoping this turns out to be bitumen. I don't know if it will. I can't tell yet because it's not operational. But what I am going to do is let's go on the premise that it is bitumen. And because what we're going to do is we're going to put an asphalt plant on the outlet to this tank. And we'll plop the asphalt plant right down there. And close that up. Now let's build some roads around this wonderful complex. And we'll make them asphalt roads and something like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but we need to have, I like to have like a ring road around it. See, that makes sense. It doesn't have to be a ring, it could probably be any shape I want, but that's kind of the thing I'm going for. Is put a little road around it, and that way everything will have access to a road as it will need for fire protection and for access to buildings for workers. All right, let's go down to all the buildings and make sure that they actually have access. So back over to infrastructure, roads. I think the main entrance to the oil refinery, I will in fact make asphalt. There we go. And perhaps for the other ones, a simple gravel, or yeah, it's a gravel road. Perhaps a simple gravel road is sufficient. So we'll just connect that one there and one like that. And we're just going to go around and we're going to do the same thing for all the structures. Sneak that guy right back through there. And this guy here, maybe I can just save a little bit by connecting him right there. And we'll hook up to the main circular road around my plant. I'm just going to keep using gravel roads. I think that's really all I need. Basically, they just need access. And this guy out to here. And I got a pump jack. I actually got two pump jacks over here. Let's start out with this one, and then we'll curve around. And then we'll give that guy some access right there. Now, what's over here? Oh, that was a pump jack, and that was a something else. What was the name of that again? That is a pipe pumping station. So back to roads and back to my gravel road. And I'll put a little tiny gravel road right in there. So now if I've done it correctly, every single one of these buildings now has access to a road. Now for planning purposes, I'm just going to rough in some train tracks for our loading stations just to make sure we have them and we don't forget about them or somehow fill up that space. And again, this is just a placeholder for now to get some infrastructure in place. And each one of these doesn't necessarily have to be used or use all the tracks, but I just think this makes good sense. Makes good sense to me anyway, to plan ahead for the future. So that's what we're going to do. And do I have one more? No, I have the asphalt plant there. So what's the next step in this process? So I think I'm going to put a train station down in here because this is quite a distance for my workers to travel. Let's find an appropriate train platform. That one is 600. The numbers and letters on this are so tiny that it pains me. So let's go with I think a 600 passenger one is fine. And let's plop that down somewhere very close to the entrance to our plant so that our workers don't have very far to walk. Plop that down there. And again, I'm going to flap in some track here. I should have made that just a little bit more orientated. There we go. So we got some track started because we're coming from that direction over there. Next thing I'm going to do is put in a fire station. And where's the fire station? I think it's here under equipment for citizens, if I remember correctly. There's a fire station. And I'm going to stick one just in here somewhere. Just turn this guy around. And there's our food. I want to really have it there? Probably not. Let's move him over. It has to be in the area, I think. Not right on top of everything, necessarily. So, but I guess he also has to be close to where people are coming and going because they'll have workers. I'm going to try right about here. Plop them in, something like that. There we go, we got ourselves a fire station in case we need fire protection. And once it gets built, I'm going to purchase a fire truck. Okay, the next step is we need electricity. So let's go to infrastructure, medium voltage lines, and I'm just going to wrap medium voltage lines all the way around the perimeter of my development here. It just makes sense to do that to me, is to circle this place, and then we can put breaks or interruptions in the line as we need to. I may be wasting a little bit of money, but I think it's a good practice in the end. It's just good planning, I think, and I like good planning. We'll just keep going around with the track. We'll keep going around with the cable. Okay, what's this called? These are called medium voltage wires. There, I got it right. And away we go. So with the medium voltage wires, we're just going to make a loop. And yeah, we'll probably break that loop somewhere, but for now, we got ourselves a nice loop, a ring of medium voltage wires around our complex. Now let's start placing some substations. We got to power this place up, so let's put down, we don't want to overload them or overload any particular single station, so let's try to balance it out. Something like this, I would hope. So I could put that guy right about there. And of course, I'm going to need to put a switch in here to connect him to the main grid. So again, back to my infrastructure, medium voltage wires, and I'm going to take a little stretch of these guys out. And I'm going to put in a switch. And I don't like how these switches are orientated. They don't seem to really do it for me. But nonetheless, that's what the game has. And then back here, go across and connect him up. I just like to keep continuity. There we go, and he's connected. And now I can go over here and make sure he's connected. Now let's move over to this other corner here, somewhere around here. I'm going to put another substation. I guess I have to make sure that my power plant at the end of the day does in fact get power. So there's a bunch of guys there. So there's all four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings. Hopefully that's not overloading it. Plop it in there. And then down here, again, I'm just going to put a little break in the wires, if I can call it that. Well, they are wires. So let's go back to medium voltage wires, and let's just put a break in there. And go back to a switch. And we'll switch some stuff around, so to speak. So how do I want to do this? All right, let's plop this guy right in there, the medium voltage switch, and then go back here. This might be a little wonky, but let's connect that up. And I'm going to put my loop back in. And then we're going to connect this guy here up. That worked. And then I'm going to go down here. I think I've got all that covered. So I need to cover these structures over here. Again, I don't want to overload any one particular substation. Go back to infrastructure, medium voltage lines, substation. So let's go something like that. That might work. I got almost everything. I'm not sure I got the refinery or the train station covered at this point. I'll plop that guy in there. And then let's just go down here and put a break in the wires like I did before. I'll put that break right there. And I'll put a switch in. Just spin that guy around. Something like that. Alright, so I got a switch in, so I got to make sure I hook everything up properly. There we go. And over to here. And I don't like the way I do it, but kind of how I do it, and I like it. There might be a more efficient way to do it. And if you know about a more efficient way, certainly feel free to let me know in the comments below. So I might put one, that could get overloaded like that. Well, let's see what happens. I could put him in there like that. And we'll see if this substation in itself gets overloaded. I don't think I need that guy over there. I just need to maybe pull a bit over this way. Let's do that. We're going to pull or put him, yeah, right about there. Okay, and then once again, we're going to put a little break in the line here so that we can put a switch in. And we put our switch in. So that might be a little weird. Like, no. I don't know why switches give me a problem, but they do. Alright, I'll plop that guy in there like that. And then go back to medium voltage lines. Cross. And over. And then back out. Cross. And over. And then I'm going to see if I can hook these two guys up. Can I go straight across? I cannot. So maybe I'm building way too many medium voltage lines here. So I think I have all the structures covered. I guess we're going to find out when we go to build our high voltage transformer and connect it to our main system. Let's put the high voltage transformer down in this area over here. I'll just spin that around, and then right about here I think is a good spot. Let's go back to the high voltage lines, high voltage wires. And I want a power transformer. Spin that guy like that. Plop him there. And then once again, I'm gonna, oh, it won't let me break those lines. Let's go back to medium here, and let's put a break in those. And we're just gonna connect these up. And I like the idea or notion of a circuit. I don't think you have to do it that way, but I like it. And then of course we have to do a road connection here, otherwise there's no fire protection. So back to roads, and I think a gravel road is about all we need. Don't think we need much more than that, to be honest, and we'll connect that up. So now we got to connect this power grid to the rest of our power, which is coming from over there. Let's go back to infrastructure, high voltage wires, go with the highest high voltage wires. I don't know that I need to, but we're going to just scoot right across there, something like that. And then over we go. I've got to find a connection to those high voltage lines. Where are you? Looks like the end is right over there. So I wonder if I can get over these lines. I should be able to. Yeah, I can go over some low voltage or medium voltage lines, and there's a switch there to be connected. All right. And if we check out our oil refinery, we have power, but we have no workers. So we got to solve that problem. Let's start by building ourselves a little train station in town. Like, it doesn't have to be that little. So I'm not sure if this is going to end up being a hub. Let's make it a 1,500 passenger one, so it's quite big. And it's got power, and it's now hooked up to my road. I can plop him right there. And if I go over to tracks, I'm going to need to connect him to my main system or put a rail depot here. So let's just see if I can connect him up to the system that's already there. Now, can I peel off of there? I can, just like that, and we'll connect it up. All right, so I don't have to build another rail depot. And we're headed that way. So I think I got to go perhaps straight across and just get across that river, and then I'll worry about zigzagging over. Let's do that. We'll go down here. Maybe right to about there. I got to make a bridge. Let's do a truss bridge that's electrified, and we'll just go across the water just like that. From here, we're going to loop around. We're going to head towards our power plant. Maybe not too far off the water, or maybe in the future I'm going to want buildings there. A nice waterfront. Maybe I don't want to get it clogged with just train tracks. Let's just kind of parallel that and see where we're headed. Head down that way, like that. And we're going to connect up to just one of these tracks. I think I'll just start out with one train to start out with. I don't think I need much else. Why is that yellow? Okay, didn't like it. Oh, I just got to flatten that. That's the problem. I got to flatten that out. And then we're going to come back over here and just make that last connection. All right, so now I got a train, well, train track anyway, from the town over to my oil refinery. Over at the train depot here, we're going to buy ourselves a train. So we're going to transport people. I'm going to use, I put down electric track, so let's put a electric locomotive. And I would think we want it to go pretty fast because it's going a long distance. So there's 120 kilometers per hour. There's, does that say 160? My goodness, that's fast. All right, let's pick one of those. And for passenger wagons, boy, that's got 125 people. So maybe for the moment, I only need 1, 2, 3. Let's get 3 wagons there to start out with. Let's go over to the newly created train station, which does in fact have power, so that's good. And there's the first stop. Click on that. And then we're going to go all the way over to our power plant, and we're going to find that other train station. Where did you go? And you are right there, and that's the second. And we'll hit start, and if I hit the eyeball, we'll see this guy come out of the depot. Well, it's probably going to take a little while for this guy to start actually transporting workers. So maybe to get things kick-started, I'll actually build some residential areas right near the plant. So let's go back over to our oil refinery. But before we go over to the oil refinery, I guess there's one thing I forgot to do, and that is put a bus station in here and put some bus routes in. So back to roads and over to a bus platform. Put a nice big one in, and there we go. Plop him in there. And then I'm going to go over to footpaths and connect this up wherever I can to make it convenient for people to get here if they're not coming from far away. And can I connect like that? Well, not sure if that does me any good, but just put some connections in anyway. All right, and now I got to get some buses going here to bus people to and from this train station. So over at the road depot, I'm going to purchase a vehicle. And that one there has, like, I can't tell if that's 82 or 62. That's 75 kilometers per hour. And there's one at 85. So I'm going to go with what looks to be the bigger one. Pick that one there. And close that up. And then I got to create a bus route for this guy. We'll double click on him. And let's create a stop that basically makes a real circular bus route. Start at that end, and then we can go there, there, and then there, right over to the train station, and then basically come back and go back and retrace our steps and hit start. And I think we'll buy perhaps a couple more buses. I want that one to take off and get a little bit of space. If I were to purchase another one, be the same type. And if I go over here to that guy and open them up, I want to, well, you know what, let's buy more than one. Let's buy two more. Like that. And then after that, I'm going to take this guy and copy his schedule to there and to there. And I just want to get that icon out of there. I don't want to do any more copying. And that guy, I'm going to start. And this guy, somehow I didn't copy it properly. So that guy there, I'm going to copy his there. Now hopefully that'll work. And he's not moving, so I click on you. Oh, there we go, and we hit start. So now we got some buses taking some people all the way over to our train station here. Now comes a train, and I don't see anybody getting on or off that train, so that is very discouraging. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to put some residences locally here just to give a little bit of a boot, get some workers here, because that's my problem right now is I don't have any workers. I believe that's right, I don't have any workers. I need 500 of them. So that's quite a number of workers to plop in here. Now I don't need to have all 500 workers coming from localized residential buildings, but I do need something to get this thing started. So let's put a road down and see if we can, you know, squeeze something in here that's not too far away so that people can, if they want to, they can walk to work. I hope, because if they like to walk to work in this game, and if you don't give them that opportunity, they don't seem to like it very much. And I can connect that up. There we go. And I'm going to go over, oh, I have electricity problem somewhere. Where's that? Oh, right there. Okay, we might have to do some fixing here. So first of all, let's see if we can put down some residential buildings and see if they have power. Well, that guy seems to be, oh no, he's got to be fairly close. So maybe one there and one there. And can I get another one in? I can, but he doesn't have power. So I'll put a third one there. And then we'll go back to infrastructure, medium power lines. Let's get another substation in here because I think I got a bit of a power problem. And I'm going to make sure these guys have power. And we'll just kind of connect him up like this and plop him in. And then as per usual, I'll put a break in these lines. And there's that train again. Let's just watch if anybody but anybody gets on and off. So there's people getting on, but not people getting off and going towards the oil refinery. So that is very disappointing. So let's go to medium voltage wires, and then we're going to just put a little break in these lines right here and go back to a switch. Plop that switch in and then just reconnect things back up. That, like that, and then over here like that. All right. So now where are we? We still have the problem that we don't have any workers. Everybody's loading up at this train station. I think I need to give them a better walkway to encourage them to walk farther to get to this other location. I don't know why they're not doing that. Can I fit that through? No. Okay, now some of them are starting to walk through. Don't know why, but they are. They're not using the walkway I just put in. But some of them are walking down this way. Okay, now they're filing in like they should. Okay, that's very encouraging. And look at that, I have a whole 15, 18, oh, it's going up. In any event, the oil refinery is operating without issues. Now this power plant over here continues to plague me by not having enough workers, which really irritates me. You see like one or two or three little guys there. I don't really like to do this, and I'm not sure if it'll make a difference, but let's just plop a little tiny residence in there somewhere to get, or maybe it'll force people to actually work there. I don't know, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's plop him in there. I want to keep this power plant fully loaded with workers. And if I go over here, how's he doing now? Well, he's got 4. Not so bad, but not the greatest either. And if I give them a walkway, that should encourage them to go over there. Well, actually, there's one walking that way. And I'm going to put another one over here like that. So hopefully that'll maybe encourage them to keep going over there. I'm not really sure why my power plant, the worker numbers are so variable. At least now it's at a healthy number and we're operating without issues. Back over at our power plant, things are doing okay. Our number of workers is extremely low. Oh boy, that's not very good at all. Well, now we're down to 0. I wonder if this is really connected here. Don't really know for sure. So I'm going to build some more pathways to see if that helps me out. Not sure if it will, but it can't hurt, I don't think. Can it? Why can't I build a footpath where I want to? Okay. Be able to go right across there like that. And I'm hoping something like that will help these guys get to work. That's really all I want them to do. They seem to be all going to the train station. I guess they all want to go into town. Are there somebody over there walking? No. Okay, that is really disappointing. That doesn't look connected to me. Go over to infrastructure, go blow that up. See if it's properly connected. Let's give it another try. Oh, that's how it looks. And connect that up. Well, I seem to have created a problem as opposed to solved the problem. Oh, there's more workers going in now. So again, one of the issues I have to deal with is the number of workers is quite variable and quite low. Well, I guess that's something I'm going to have to work on in the future. But the bottom line is we now have our oil refinery set up. We're now starting to load up on things like fuel and bitumen, and those are the sorts of things we need to get ourselves forward in this game economically. Well, folks, I think that's enough for today. So, where do we go from here? Well, the answer to that question lies in the next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. Click on that box in the bottom left-hand corner right now to see a video you're almost guaranteed to love. This video was selected just for you by YouTube, and they know what you like. So what are you waiting for? Click on that box now, sit back, relax, and enjoy another video.